The following is a Cable Regina Channel 7 sports presentation.
With just over a week remaining in the WHL regular season, the playoff picture is still unknown. The Pats are still battling for top spot in the East, and with only 4 games remaining after tonight, including a battle in Swift Current and a home-and-home with Moose Jaw, every game is important. But tonight, the focus is on the Red Deer Rebels. Red Deer sits in second spot in the Central and could affect who they play in the second season with a win tonight. And it'll be a challenge as the Rebels have a lineup similar to the Pats. So sit back, relax, and get ready, as it's showtime. The Pats and the Rebels are next on Cable Regina.
Regina Pats Hockey on Cable Regina is sponsored by Inland Audio Visual, 1751 McCarra Street. Western Pizza, with 9 locations in Regina to serve you. And Saskatchewan Lotteries, proud to support amateur hockey in the province. Proceeds from Saskatchewan Lotteries are used by volunteer organizations to develop healthy sport, culture, and recreation activities for people of every age and ability.
Everyone, welcome to the Regina Agrodome for tonight's tilt between the Regina Pats and the Red Deer Rebels. This is the 6th and final meeting of the year for these two teams. The Pats are 4-1 against the Rebels, including the last 4 games in a row. Both these teams with big aspirations for the postseason. The Pats, with a victory tonight, can take over first place in the East Division because the Swift Current Broncos and the Brandon Wheat Kings are both idle. The Red Deer Rebels, meantime, making a race of things in the Central Division. They've closed within 8 points back of first place Lethbridge. And now, with a bit of a preview of tonight's game, let's throw it over to Mitchell Blair and Paul Barnby.
Good evening, everyone. The last time we saw the Regina Pats, Paul Barnby, a strange situation. The Pats lost at home. The 27-game unbeaten streak came to an end here against the PA Raiders. It was the start of a tough weekend for the Pats. They only got 1 out of a possible 6 points, and the rest for them, I think, has done them a lot of good for these last 5 games.
Well, I'll tell you, it better have done them some good because the Regina Pats are going to be in for a very tough contest here tonight. The Red Deer Rebels are going to be a very formidable opponent for them. They're a much different hockey team. They started the year very well, went into a little bit of a tailspin, but they're a much different hockey team with Terry Ryan in the lineup. 9 goals, 16 assists, 25 points in 11 games. He makes the Red Deer Rebels a much different team.
Red Deer Rebels feature 9 players that have been taken by NHL teams. 3 of them first rounders. You talked about one of them, Terry Ryan. The other 2 being Lance Ward, the defenseman, and the other one being Desi Wallen, the defenseman taken by Detroit. So definitely the Red Deer Rebels, on paper with the Pats, they look even.
Well, they do, and I'll tell you, you mentioned the defensemen that they have. They've got a very big defensive core. They're not really great movers out there, but I'll tell you what, they can really plug up the middle. Should be a good game tonight.
Should be a good game, and we hope you enjoy it. But Paul, I guess we're sitting here in the best seats of the house, so I guess we're taking a couple of guys' spots. And as much as I like the view down here, I think maybe we'd best go upstairs. So let's take it back to you, Pete.
Thanks very much, guys. Back upstairs where you belong. Folks, if the Pats are going to prevail tonight, Dmitry Nabokov might be the player to watch. Nabokov, a one-man wrecking crew against Red Deer so far this season. 13 points in just 4 games. Of course, the Pats, as you know, last week had their home ice unbeaten string, 27 games, snapped by the arch-rival PA Raiders. Since then, they have tied the Lethbridge Hurricanes last Sunday night, and of course are looking to extend that 1-game home ice unbeaten string here tonight. With more on tonight's action, let's throw it upstairs to the guys if they've made it.
Well, we're tired, Pete, but we made it up here, and I'll tell you what, Paul Barnby, he could give Donovan Bailey a challenge the way he ran up here.
I'll tell you what, that is quite a walk and a big hike up there, but it was even doubly hard when I had to carry you as well, so.
And thank you for that.
No problem.
Well, Paul, we talked about it just briefly at the start of the game. The Regina Pats, a bad weekend last weekend. They only got 1 out of a possible 6 points, but they're still right in the hunt for first place in the Eastern Division and first place overall in the East Central, which would, of course, mean home ice advantage.
And I think everybody knows what a big deal that would be for the Pats if they could get home ice advantage, that great 27-game win streak that they had during the course of the season. Unfortunate that it came to an end, but maybe a bit of a blessing in disguise, a little bit of pressure off them. But you're right. I mean, this is the week that's going to tell a tale. They've got some tough games coming up here, starting with the one tonight. They're going to finish off with a couple in Moose Jaw a week from now. That's going to determine who's going to finish in first place.
Yeah, nothing against the Red Deer Rebels, but with games against Swift Current and Lethbridge and home against Moose Jaw, the Red Deer Rebels may be the easiest opponent. Still closing in on 50 goals. He goes into tonight's game with 45. And 3 Pats also closing in on the 100-point mark. Holden has 93, Pedersen and Dmitry Nabokov each with 91.
Well, you got the Red Deer Rebels have got B.J. Young with 54, Aaron Asham 43, and Greg Schmidt with 42, so they got 3 40-goal scorers in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, we could have a shootout here tonight. Holden sets up Kane, and just 55 seconds in, the Pats lead it 1-0.
Well, the 25th goal of the year for big number 18 of the Regina Pats, Boyd Kane, and he gets his team off to a great start, and that's the thing the Pats wanted to get tonight was that early jump on Red Deer coming off that big win against the Brandon Wheat Kings. A couple nights ago, they're in here in Regina, but Regina gets out to a great start here, a perfect feed. Boyd Kane finds himself all alone in front of Whitney and makes absolutely no mistake, picking that top corner and giving his team the early 1-0 lead.
Off the face-off, Jared Adams picks it up. To Calder. Calder tried to get it down into the Red Deer's end. Koss intercepted and fires it back into the Regina end. Jared Adams, the Pats captain, off, and guys, we better put a camera down on Andy Adams because we haven't seen him since this game started.
And I'm sure Coach Rich Preston would just like to keep it that way as well. Keep everything down here in the Red Deer end. We'll get a quick look at that replay again. Boyd Kane alone in that slot, makes absolutely no mistake. Goes stick side top corner. Perfect goal by Boyd Kane and a great feed by Josh Holden to find him alone like that. But you got to capitalize. Boyd Kane made sure of that one.
Kane almost had time to pick up that puck and autograph it.
He hopes he sees a few more chances like that as well tonight.
I would think so. Approaching. This is the second to last home game. The next one a week from tomorrow night when the Moose Jaw Warriors are in town. You know that's going to be a dandy. Then the playoffs slated to start March 20th. I was talking to Pat's marketing man Scott Clark, and he says tentatively right now, games 1 and 2 of those first round series scheduled to go here March 20th and 21st. Get your playoff tickets now. Folks, I don't care what anybody else tells you. Real hockey is right here at the Agrodome, except no substitutes.
And besides that, I don't think this is going to be the kind of year where you're going to be able to just walk up to the box office, buy your ticket on game day, and watch a good playoff game. They're all going to be gone.
And if you want a good parking spot, get here early. Asham, Young, McBain, Wallen, and Ryan.
Yeah, that's a big 5 for sure.
Oh, I'll say. Ryan Randall keeps the puck in. He'll flip it on a Whitney. Calder shot. They score! And they're going to call it a goal for Kyle Calder. What a great play to just sort of tip the puck past Mike Whitney, who really just sort of lollygagged it, and he pays for it. Count the goal to Calder. Make it 2-0 Pats.
Well, you see the puck just tipped in the air, and Cal Calder just reached in behind the defenseman, actually, managed to get a stick on it, and just deflected it by Whitney. We just talked about how Cal Calder's really picked up this game, and that's the thing. If you're going to the net, good things can happen. That time, Cal Calder's steaming in there. Puck pops up in the air. He reaches around behind the defenseman, gets a stick on it, pops it into the net, and now we have the Red Deer Rebels arguing about whether that was a high stick. I'm surprised that didn't come a little earlier than it did.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come a little earlier either, and I'm surprised it wasn't Mike Whitney really voicing the objections, but it's going to count as Mike Whitney definitely there, a lack of communication between him and the defenseman. Pats say we don't mind one bit, and Kyle Calder has his 23rd goal of the year and is given.
Obviously an individual the Regina Pats are going to depend a lot on down the stretch here. One of the two 20-year-olds on the team right now, and he's had a great season. 67 games he's played for the Pats so far, 45 goals, 46 assists, 91 points. So he's on the verge of a 50-goal season, but he's going to have to pick up the scoring. He started to fall off a little bit down the stretch here.
Pedersen gets it in the corner. Pedersen tries to cut out front with it. Forced to go wide and then leaves it behind the net for Randall. Randall will come out with a nice effort by Randall. Brian Randall, what an effort to make it 3-1 as he picked the puck up from behind the net, walks out front, slides a backhander past Mike Whitney, and it is 3-1 Regina.
Well, that's the kind of effort that you need to get from a big hockey player like Brian Randall. Stands about 6'4". He was acquired from Medicine Hat on September 23rd in exchange for Regina's Chad Wilczynski. Currently in a 14-game goal-scoring drought, Brian Randall powers his way out of that corner and tucks the puck in the side of the net. That's the kind of goal that big power forwards have to score. You just see Brian Randall muscle his way out there, gets tripped just as he gets in the slot, still has enough strength with one hand on the stick to flick it in the net. Big goal for the Regina Pats.
Great shot there a minute ago. It looked like Mike Whitney was looking back at the puck saying, what are you doing in there? Loizak with a great chance as he heard Brian Raymond with the goal call. Randall from Pedersen for Rand Pizza and Inland Audio and Video. I'd like to say hi to those of you watching the game tonight at the Western Pizza downtown location, at the Western Pizza Gardner Park location, and to all my friends down at Tumblers and Grant Road, the Baton brothers also watching this one down there tonight, and I hope you're all enjoying it on Cable Regina, Regina Television, Channel 7. B.J. Young with it. Young rubbed it off the puck. Pedersen to Randall, the Calder, off the goal post, rebound and score! C'est la boue! Kyle Calder makes it 4-1.
Well, we talked about Kyle Calder picking up his game, and there's no question that he's done that. Gets his 24th of the year now, his second on the night. Comes up with the big score. Sheer persistence here. Gets that first shot. Whitney has no idea where it is. Calder goes to his backhand, tucks it in behind Whitney, and the Pats open up a 4-1 lead, so that's looking pretty good. You see where that started, though, eh? Lars Pedersen on the boards, digs that puck free. Kyle Calder makes the Red Deer Rebels pay for it. Good all-around effort by the Pats on that goal.
Great view, guys. Good job down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, scoring his 24th Regina Pat goal of the season, his second of the night, number 32, Kyle Calder.
Well, it's going to go down to the last day of the regular season. Let's face it, the top 4 teams jockeying for position. The Rebels on a roll. Suddenly, they're part of the picture. They could catch the team in 3rd or 4th overall yet. I've just really enjoyed the last part of the regular season.
Rod, really, as far as the Regina Pats go, they could finish 3rd in the division. They could finish 1st overall in the East Central. It's definitely going to be a real battle for them down the stretch here as well.
Well, that's right, Mitch. I know that Rich figures worst case scenario. He doesn't think they'll finish any lower than 4th. They still can.
I hope it certainly is Game 3. Goes Sunday afternoon because those young ladies deserve a shot to go to Thunder Bay at the national championship. Leo McGee won 1 national championship with the wrestling team, and I know if Christine and crew get to Thunder Bay, they are going to bring the U of R a 2nd flag home this year.
See Dan Folk in behind the bench as well, holding onto the corner of his head.
And actually Dan Folks has now gone off as there's a big shot, rebound, Pedersen scores! Pedersen cashes in on the rebound on the Derek Morris shot for Lars. That is goal number 46 for Regina tonight. That is goal number 5. And the Pats cash in on the power play.
Well, that's the guy they had to get going, and I'll tell you what, to be very happy that Lars Pedersen banged that one in there. You mentioned his 46th goal of the year. Certainly he was named the Pats Player of the Year for this year, the Pats nominee, however. 22 goals in his last 25 home games. That's where Lars Pedersen's got to score. A little bit of a drought right now. Also got 18 power play goals along with a league-leading 11 game-winning goals. So Lars Pedersen is a big part of this Regina Pat offense. Very nice to see him score here tonight.
Number 19, Lars Pedersen. Assist number 9, Derek Morris. And number 3, Perry Johnson. That's Pedersen from Morris and Johnson, a power play goal at 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
Thank you very much, Brian Raymond. As here comes Calder. Has Randall with him. Calder, nice job to get around Waller. Has Randall out front. Puts on the break. Drives it in. Oh, what a goal by Kyle Calder. What an effort by the product of Manville to get the hat trick.
and it is 6-2. Oh, baby!
That was a good one. And I'll tell you what, there's something about Kyle Calder I think that a lot of people don't realize, but he possesses some tremendous speed. And you got evidence of that going around. That's what created that open ice for him, and he went around. A #1 draft pick, Jesse Wallen, got in behind that net, gave the little fake like he was going to go right around, came back the other side and tucked it in the short side. Whitney couldn't do anything about it. A couple of quick goals here at the start of the third period. You get a look here now, Calder just comes back against the grain, tucks it into the corner of the net, and those are two big goals. We're going to get a timeout called here by the Red Deer Rebels. Rich Preston has obviously done a very good job tonight because the Pats have come out with some real jump at the start of every period. They've tailed off a little bit as the period has gone on, but at the start of the periods, they've been on top of their game in each one of them tonight.
What a highlight reel goal for Kyle Calder. Get a hold of TSN. You just saw your highlight of the night.
3 minutes and 45 seconds.
What an effort by the 18-year-old from Manville, Alberta. As a couple of hats come onto the ice here at the Agrodome. Paul, I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of nice goals scored in the Dome this year, but that had to be one of the nicest.
Well, and the thing about it was scored with such tremendous effort, and that was the thing that really made it such a special goal. That great speed to go down that far side, get around and create that open ice for himself, and then just dancing around with the puck in behind the net with the presence of mind to come back against the grain, tuck it into that corner. We'll get another look at here. Kyle in behind the net, comes back against the flow. You see Jesse Wallen trying to get back into the play, but the first-round draft pick of the Detroit Red Wings looks a little foolish on that one.
Tell you what, there's a lot of scouts in the crowd. Sensation, Dmitry Nabokov's going to kill some time. Now gets it up to Holden. Holden just chips it off the boards and out to center. Ward dumps it into the Regina zone. Adams left it for Thompson. Ryan got to it. Now the Rebels have it there. That's Young behind the net. Shot. Well, I thought it went in, but it went off the crossbar. Schmidt thinks it went in. Sutherland's going to go and talk to the goal judge. I'll tell you what, Paul, this is going to be interesting. I thought it went in.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm on your side on this one, Mitchell. I thought it went in too, but I just don't know. I mean, the puck came up so fast, came right back down in front of the net, but we'll get a look at it here maybe on the replay. Up in front, you can see Andy Adams' glove go up towards that top crossbar.
I didn't see the top of the net ball.
No, I didn't either, so Andy Adams may have got something on it, although it certainly did appear from our vantage point anyway as if that puck had gone in. No red light came on. We've got all three officials down there having a conference in behind the net. Get another look at it here. The shot, very difficult to tell from that angle whether or not it went in. It might have hit the crossbar. Then again, if Greg Schmidt is correct, it might have gone just under the crossbar.
Well, there you see the meeting of the minds, and Sutherland says no goal. BJ Young says, well, words I can't really repeat. BJ Young a little hot under the collar, as I think several of the Rebels are. We're going to see it again.
Slow-mo.
And you know, geez, I don't know, because there it looked almost like the net did bulge.
Yeah, that certainly did.
We're going to rewind it. Let's look at that again. Yes, sir, that's it.
That's a great shot there on slow-mo. You can see the top of that net just pop up. And that was definitely into the
I'll tell you what, it's
top
on
of the net. Andy Adams' glove came up so fast, I think is what fooled everybody on it. I'm surprised the goal judge wasn't able to see that from in behind the net. He definitely had the best vantage point in the rink to take a look at it.
And let's thank Bernie Beaudry and Inland Audio Visual for allowing us to show that. Let's thank our other sponsors as well, Western Pizza. And I'll tell you what, let's also thank just one of the many volunteers who has helped making this game a success for getting a great camera angle on that one.
Yeah, that's a beauty, boy. When you catch those, and I'll tell you what, that happens lickety-split. Obviously, when we were looking at it with the naked eye, we couldn't tell for sure what was going on, but that slow-mo helped a lot. Red Deer, not very happy, obviously, about the whole thing.
I'll tell you what, if instant replay was used in the Western Hockey League, it would be a 6-3 hockey game. But instant replay is not used, and the score remains 6-2. Rick Carrier isn't happy. And the Pats don't care. Back to action. It is Stephen Pete dumping it into the Regina zone. Adams will leave it for Morris behind his net. Randall rubbed off the puck. A few guys come in there to fight for it. Pedersen joins in the scrum. Rebels wanted to freeze it for a face-off, but the Pats keep at it. Now Pedersen tries to get it out, can't do so. Nice job of stick handling by Schmidt to keep it in as he tight-roped that one along the line. Now it comes out front. There's a big shot and a big save off of Aaron Asham by Andy Adams. One double A robs another double A. Randall has one of the Pat goals here tonight and has played maybe his best game of the season for the blue and white this evening. Schmidt to McBain. This guy has logged an awful lot of ice time for the guys in black tonight. Tippler tried to clear it in, went off of Lysak's back, and McBain has it again. Up to Schmidt. Schmidt trying to go around Adams. Adams says, I'll take that, thank you very much. Tried to get it out. Shaw keeps it in. Shaw behind the net to Schmidt. Centered up front. Big save again by Andy Adams off of Mike Broda. And now Andy Adams is Achilles' heel. He doesn't like guys getting his face. Lloyd Shaw with a cheap shot on one of the Pats. And now he's just hammering somebody. Lanigan gets in there. And folks, we got ourselves an old-fashioned brouhaha behind Andy Adams.
Well, and the guy that's right in the middle of it again, of course, is Lloyd Shaw. Managed to get lots of stuff going out there, but Pats aren't going to stand for any of that monkey business down around their own goaltender, and lots of people were standing in on top of Andy Adams. They decide to come to his rescue immediately. Looks like cooler heads are going to prevail here, but again, another good scoring opportunity for the Red Deer Rebels that Andy Adams comes up with a big stop.
And again, guys jumping to their teammates' defense, which is something we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I really think that's one of the key things for this Pat team right now, and that is developing that character and that team commitment to stick up for each other and make sure you look after your buddies out on the ice.
And now we've got two boats going in the corner. It is Thompson and Schmidt. And now everybody's going at it. Here we go. Schmidt is taking some cheap shots. Here comes Whitney, and here comes Adams. And he's looking at him, and here they go. Whitney and Adams are going to go at it. Thompson's trying to get to the penalty box. Folks say, Adams has just steamed him. He's steamed him once. I'll tell you what, if Whitney didn't get dinner before the game, he's getting it now because Andy Adams has steamed him. I'd like to tell you who's dancing with who. Tippler's along the boards. Greg Schmidt has, I can't tell you. Mike McBain has a pad, can't see his number, and it is Broda and Lysak in the corner. And this place is going nuts. Whitney wants a piece of Tippler. Now we've got sort of four guys going at it. Jared Adams is one of them. You can tell that because the ball pallet. Oh, baby. This is ugly for the Rebels. One guy has his shirt off. Well, I'll tell you what, Paul Barnby.
I'll tell you, got young Brent Lysak down there.
This is playoff.
He's all wrapped up.
And
with Mike Broda.
It's bordering on the ridiculous here now, but the fans are enjoying every minute of it. Shane Lanigan has his shirt off. Greg Schmidt put him in the penalty box. One of the Rebels, and I think it's Tippler, is still going at it. And I'll tell you what, this thing's a long way from being over yet.
Well, that's what happens when you get these games that could be these first-round playoff matchups. And this will wear out a few hockey players, but I think the Regina Pats did what they wanted to do.
And now Lanigan gets out of the penalty box, and I'll tell you what, he doesn't want to be doing that. Shane Lanigan, Lysak had better hold him, or else he's going to miss some time. Tippler's doing a good job. Curtis Tippler just fired a sweater. A water bottle goes across. Jared Adams is lipping at McBain.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you wanted to see some character and some heart from the Regina Pats, we got an evidence of that tonight. A good old 5-on-5, and I'll tell you what, they were helping each other out. You don't like to see that physical stuff on the ice all the time, but I'll tell you what, if it's going to break out, you better stick up for your buddies. The Regina Pats showed me something special here tonight.
Well, there's a fan throwing a can into the Red Deer penalty box. That was a smart move, buddy.
Here's how it all started down here with a big pile up on top of Andy Adams.
So let's go back down to the penalty box, because this thing isn't over yet.
Oh, wait till the second wave of players
Some
come
fan
out
just
too.
threw a pop can into the Red Deer penalty box, something that's not called for. Security's looking for that guy to get him out of here, as well they should.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the players were doing fine out on the ice. Everything was going along just the way it should. Thought the Pats acquitted themselves very well in a 5-on-5 against a very big, tough Red Deer hockey team, and had some of their biggest, toughest guys out there. And you don't need fans getting involved in these kind of things. It's absolutely uncalled for, unnecessary.
Jared Adams is getting up here. Shane Lanigan is still very hot. And I'll tell you what, Kelly Sutherland, Troy Sardison, and Dallas Davison have got a real mess on their hands. Sardison just told Tipler to sit down and shut up. This all happens with 13:48 to go in this third period, and the Pats owning a 6-2 lead.
Tell you what I thought was one of the more interesting bouts that was going on out there was young Brett Lysak, the youngest player in all of Canadian hockey, had a hold of Mike Broad out there, 6'1", 190 pounds, born on May 26, 1977, 3 years older.
Lysak? Oh,
No,
okay.
Broda.
Sorry.
Broda, 3 years older than Brett Lysak, and I thought he acquitted himself very well. And obviously, what's not one of his strong suits.
Well, I'll tell you what. Mike Whitney, as they're seeing on the big screen, listen to the fans go nuts as they're showing Andy Adams absolutely pace Mike Whitney. You know, I'll tell you what, Paul. We all know what type of a fan favorite Chad Mercier was in this building. Andy Adams can't fill the skates of Chad Mercier, but he has done a pretty good job. And here we're going to see it right here. Andy Adams saying, you want some? You want some? Come and get it. And he got it.
It'll be very interesting to see what the call is here, too, because if you leave your crease, you should get kicked out of the game. Andy Adams stayed in his crease. Whitney came down from the far end of the ice. Be very interesting to see what these final penalty situations are, but there's no doubt Andy Adams calmly waited down in his crease. He wasn't involved. I'm not sure why. Mike Whitney found it necessary to leave his crease and get involved. Usually if the other goaltender's involved in the fight and you got an odd man advantage down there, you might feel like you have to come out. Andy Adams was not involved in that particular fight. Not sure why he chose to come down and put his team obviously at a big disadvantage, as he will definitely be out of the game.
So, it's calmed down a little bit here.
Very exciting.
They've had some fun here at the Agrodome. Many fans here on their feet.
Well, if this is a
And the only guys left in the penalty box are Mark Thompson of the Pats and a Rebel who has his jersey off.
Yeah, the rest of the players for the Red Deer Rebels that were involved went straight to the dressing room. The players from the Pats that were involved in that brouhaha went straight to the dressing room. We've got the backup goaltenders warming up right now. Aaron Morey for the Regina Pats.
And I'll let you pronounce his name.
Well, you know what? I was going to mention that you were so happy that he didn't get to start
yes,
tonight.
Yes, I was.
But Mark Magliarditi is going to be coming in for the Red Deer Rebels, and you're going to have some fun with that one for the rest of this game.
Mags.
Mags.
We're going to call him Mags.
He'll be Mags from now on.
You know, I was saying before the game, WGN, Chicago Cubs.
What Josh Holden plays a lot bigger than he really is. He can really hand out that physical punishment. And I think that's something that the Vancouver Canucks are going to be very happy to see in him, is his ability to play that tough physical hockey game. Throw some big body checks out there for the Pats, that time just crashing into Mark Magliarditi, who promptly gave him the face wash.
Well, Paul, as this game winds down, I would just like to extend my thanks to you for providing color for all 4 games this season. It was greatly appreciated. I'd also like to thank the many, many volunteers who helped make this games, or make all these 4 games,
There's
a
our
tremendous
replay
success.
people who got that
As you
great
see,
shot
yep.
on that goal. They picked that one up right away. So
and they're watching along with the rest of the Rebels who were kicked out earlier. But as I said, I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank the many volunteers. It's been a tremendous effort all year long, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of hockey to be played here at the Dome yet this winter. We hope to bring you a couple more games, but if not, it's been a great ride, and we hope to be doing more for you next year. As I said, hopefully we'll be back come playoff time. Morris flips it down to the high stick, and Holden left it for McDonald. And as the clock winds down here, the fans start to pick it up, and we'll let them count it down for you. So
I just wanted to add, Mitchell, before we continue on with this, that I really enjoyed working with you. It's been lots of fun. We've had a few laughs along the way, and we've also had some excellent hockey games to call for the fans out there. And I'll tell you what, I am convinced that this place is going to be very difficult to get a ticket for during the playoffs. So I have no doubt in my mind that if people want to reserve their seats, if they want to get the free parking, they're probably better off to buy that playoff package, get this place sold out, and then maybe there'll be a few more games on Cable Regina.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, call the Pats office, get your playoff tickets, get them now, because you are going to miss, I think, what is going to be a long and memorable run in these playoffs. Like I said in the second intermission, talking to Bruce Buchanan and Rod Peterson, I think it is going to be a Pats Lethbridge Hurricane East Central final. And I'll tell you what, if that is the case, what a dandy playoffs it is going to be. Paul, we talked about it basically last week against PA, and this week you can't count any of the 8 teams that are going to make the playoffs in the East Central out, because they're all capable of going a long ways.
Tonight's Molson 3 stars.
As we go down to the 3 stars.
Chris White of the Wolf. Tonight's Molson third star from the first place Regina Pats, number 19, Lars Pedersen.
His best game of the season, and Lars Pedersen, his consistent self that whole line. They will be in Swift Current on Tuesday night. They will be in Lethbridge on Wednesday. They will then be at the Civic Center in Moose Jaw next Friday night. You know the old Civic Center will be crammed for that one. And then the Moose Jaw Warriors come back into the Agrodome Saturday night. So buy your rider tickets before 7 o'clock. Get down to the Agrodome. Watch the Warriors and the Pats, and then the playoffs coming. They're going to be wild. There you see the third period summary. Pedersen and Calder with the goals. The goal by Kyle Calder, I'll tell you what, it was a beauty. And if we can get that again, I don't know if we've got it or not, but it was just absolutely a thing of beauty. As I said, get a hold of TSN, because that's your highlight of the night. This is the first goal of the night by Boyd Kane. That came just 55 seconds into this first period, and it sent the Pats on their way. And I believe this is the goal by Kyle Calder. He fought off the defenseman Wallen, puts on the brakes, then comes back and tucks it in the short side on Mike Whitney. And then I think after that, I think the frustration of the Rebels came out as we saw the big 5-on-5. And as a result, the Regina Pats win this one tonight by a score of 6-2. Paul Barnby, once again, thank you very much, not only for tonight, but for all season long. And I hope that I see you in the playoffs.
I've really enjoyed it, and I hope we get to do more, Mitchell.
Pete Paczko, you have tonight's first star, Kyle Calder.
Yeah, no question about it, guys. Kyle Calder, the first star, 3 goals tonight. Kyle, great job out there.
Yeah, I felt really good. You know, I was in a bit of a slump there, 15 game unscoreless, I guess, and got one, got the monkey off my back, and come out tonight, and I got 3, and it's just hard work, I guess.
Well, really, the whole line was jumping out there, and we saw it in the 3 stars. All 3 of you were a star.
Yeah, it's my draft.
Point over the Swift Current Broncos. Folks, if this is our last game of the season here on Cable Regina, I just want to thank everyone who took part, and thanks to the Pats for letting us show these games to you. If it's not, well, we'll be back with you somewhere down the road, likely in the playoffs. Until then, for Mitchell Blair and Paul Barnby, I'm Pete Paczko, signing off from the Agrodome.
Regina Pats Hockey on Cable Regina. has been sponsored by Inland Audio Visual, 1751 McCarra Street, Western Pizza, with 9 locations in Regina serving you, and Saskatchewan Lotteries, proud to support amateur hockey in the province. Proceeds from Saskatchewan Lotteries are used by volunteer organizations to develop healthy sport, culture, and recreation activities for people of every age and ability.